Well, Abdullah is here with us now on Shout Radio, who's made quite a stir in the site development industry, and he's the founder of thewotech.com, the most advanced and professional digital services agency. How are you, first of all?
I'm doing very great. I hope you're doing very great too.
Yes, I'm doing great today as well. So, first of all, how did you get started with web development in the first place?
Well, it all started with me playing games. I used to create websites for gaming clans, and I learned a lot from them since there were lots of web developers who also were interested in the same thing I was.
Yeah.
And I got paid, I got my first payment at around the age of 12, if my memory doesn't fail me. And after that, I've started creating a books website at the age of 14. I tried to get myself some additional side income, and the website ended up failing, unfortunately. And it got absolutely no traffic since I didn't quite know what I was doing. And I kind of started giving up. And that is when my mother got interested in my new talent, and she helped me in the new idea of creating a digital services company.
Yeah.
And I started working towards having certificates and press releases as much as possible. And that is how I got invited to the Google headquarters and was certified by Google.
Yeah.
And that is how I started web development in my digital services agency.
Yeah. And you mentioned that you got your first payment at 12, but at what age did you actually start doing this in the first place? Was it long before that?
I had my first computer at the age of 3.
Wow.
So yeah, I've started. Yeah, that is when I got my first desktop computer, and since then I've been a computer wizard. Working my way around games and softwares, trying to do this and that. And it wasn't the best computer of all the time, obviously. 14 years ago. And at the age of 12, I've started web development. And, many of my teachers have denied my skills. And yet my parents were there to support me. And that is how I reached the level of success that I am in today. And in the last few years, I made myself an astonishing and outstanding reputation all around the internet.
Yeah. So what actually got you interested in web development in the first place? Because I guess it's something that might not have really existed to the same extent all those years ago.
That is actually very true. Back then, web development wasn't as advanced as it is today.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I personally loved the way movies were hacking and inputting code into computers, wearing hoodies, that type of stuff. It came to my surprise that actual web development and coding isn't truly like that. And it was really, really shocking. And it really, really, shocked me quite well. And yet I took a few courses at the age of 12. It was like the first course I took was around 36 hours, I believe. It was on Udemy. It was on discount, so it was quite a good deal. And then that is how I started learning about web development and how I started my career as a professional, modern, and young web developer.
Yeah. So who actually inspired you to do this? Was there any particular people that you looked up to?
Actually, yes, I loved Bill Gates at that time.
Yeah.
And to be honest, after Bill Gates, my true inspiration all comes from my parents. They've always supported me in my efforts as a web developer. They've also supported me monetarily, buying my host, trying to do this and that, paying for all of the fees. And in my first few websites, even though they ended up with failure, I was always reassured by them. They always pushed me to continue.
Yeah.
And that is what really kept me going. Everyone around me was quite skeptical about me and my skills and what I could achieve. And all of them are excluding my parents. So my parents were the only ones who were really, really trying to push me forward into becoming a successful individual.
Definitely. And are there any big companies that you've had the chance to work with?
Actually, yes, there are a few big companies that I worked with.
Yeah.
I have worked with Coursera as a translator around a few months ago.
Yeah.
And I was also invited to Google's headquarters. But other than that, I would love to keep the other companies private to ensure transparency.
That's a good trait to have. Where are we able to find your business and also keep up to date with you on social media if you've got any accounts there?
Yes, I do got accounts on Instagram. My main account, my personal account is _dot Abdullah G, and my business account is at the Woo Tech 369, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm gonna repeat that just one more time. My main account is _Abdullah G, and my business account is at the Woo Tech 369.
Yeah. And just before we leave you, because I know you're very busy running your business, are there any words of thanks that you'd like to give anybody listening at the moment?
Yes, well, I would love to give thanks to my parents. They were here for me all the time. I've always been supported by them. They've always been a main source of my success. In every moment, they were there. Every success and every failure they've witnessed and cherished every moment, even though it wasn't as successful as it is now at the very start.
Mhm.
And also love to thank one more person. I would love to keep their name private.
Yeah.
I'm sure they would know themselves by just listening to the interview, as they're really, really close to me and have witnessed all my uprising and successes.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thanks very much for popping by and coming on the show. It's been great to have you here.
It's great to talk to you today. Thank you so much.